In our previous episode, we explored the mounting geopolitical tensions that forced Carthage into a desperate, defensive war against the expansionist Numidian king Massinissa, a conflict that Rome weaponized to justify their total annihilation of the Punic state. Now, in 149 BCE, the Roman Republic initiates a systematic campaign of destruction, beginning with an ultimatum that demanded the surrender of 300 noble hostages and the total disarmament of the Carthaginian military to ensure their complete vulnerability. The momentum shifts dramatically as the Roman legions land at the port of Utica, forcing the Carthaginians to surrender 200,000 sets of armor and 2,000 catapults, only for the Senate to then demand the city be abandoned and rebuilt 10 miles inland. Scipio Aemilianus, the adopted grandson of the legendary Scipio Africanus, is elected consul in 147 BCE, arriving to find a stalled siege and immediately restoring iron discipline to the Roman ranks while preparing a decisive naval blockade. Scipio's tactical genius shines as he constructs a massive mole, a stone breakwater designed to choke the Cothon, the famous circular harbor of Carthage, effectively cutting off the city's lifeblood of maritime supplies and international trade. By the spring of 146 BCE, Scipio launches a daring night assault, successfully breaching the harbor defenses and capturing the commercial port, which serves as the critical staging ground for the final, bloody phase of the urban conflict. The fighting descends into a horrific six-day house-to-house struggle through the narrow, multi-story streets of the Punic capital, where Roman legionaries face fierce resistance from a desperate militia of citizens, mercenaries, and enslaved people. Carthage, once a beacon of Mediterranean trade, is transformed into a fortress, with women reportedly cutting their long hair to provide the tension cords required for the frantic, makeshift manufacturing of defensive catapults. Rome's primary theater of war remains the North African coast, specifically the Gulf of Tunis, where the triple-walled fortifications of the Bursa citadel stand as the final, crumbling barrier against the encroaching Roman military machine. Between 149 and 147 BCE, the Roman siege remains largely ineffective, but the arrival of Scipio Aemilianus shifts the strategic focus toward a total, crushing blockade that isolates the city from all external aid or reinforcements. The estimated pre-war population of up to 500,000 people suffers catastrophic losses due to the combined effects of starvation, disease, and the relentless, grinding attrition of the three-year Roman siege. Hasdrubal the Boeotarch, the commander of the city's defense, leads the final, doomed resistance from within the Bursa, while Roman forces under Scipio systematically burn city blocks to clear a path for their heavy infantry. Victory for Rome means the absolute erasure of Carthage as a sovereign entity, whereas for the Carthaginians, the stakes are nothing less than the total survival of their culture, their people, and their ancient, storied identity. As the Roman legions prepare for the final breach of the Bursa, the fate of the city hangs in the balance, with the brutal reality of total war threatening to wipe an entire civilization from the map. We will examine the final, tragic collapse of the city and the controversial aftermath in our upcoming third episode, which details the destruction of the Punic legacy. This bridge to the final phase of the war reveals how Rome's strategic patience and overwhelming military resources eventually overcame even the most fortified urban defenses in the ancient world. Records indicate that Scipio Aemilianus, despite his role as the conqueror, reportedly wept while watching the city burn, fearing that Rome itself might one day suffer a similar, catastrophic fate at the hands of future rivals. The Roman Senate's decision to raze the city was not merely a military necessity but a symbolic act, declaring the site sacer, or cursed, to ensure that no future power could ever rise from the ashes of Carthage. While the myth of sowing the earth with salt remains a 19th-century fabrication, the historical reality is that the city was systematically demolished, leaving behind only ruins that serve as a testament to the cost of imperial ambition. The destruction of Carthage in 146 BCE marks the definitive end of the Punic era and the beginning of undisputed Roman hegemony across the Mediterranean, fundamentally reshaping the political landscape of the ancient world for centuries to come. Roman forces utilized approximately 80,000 infantry and 4,000 cavalry to maintain the blockade, ensuring that no supplies reached the starving population trapped within the city walls during the final months of the siege. Of the hundreds of thousands who once inhabited the city, only 50,000 survivors remained to surrender at the end of the siege, all of whom were subsequently sold into slavery by the Roman victors.